my shoes. I'm proud of them. I want to show them. Like, you couldn't see them in the video, but now, like, you have to admire them in some way.
Soy Paulpockett y el día de hoy vamos a platicar un poquito del tema del rematch con Cultural Care. Está conmigo Cynthia, ella es de Netherlands y nos va a platicar un poquito de su caso porque ella también estuvo en rematch. So, where are you from?
I'm from the Netherlands. I am 19 years old. My name is Cynthia.
For how long time you have been here?
I've been here for 5 months today. I've lived in 2 families, so I have some experience with rematch.
I have a question. If you're in rematch, can you get a family anytime during the year?
Yeah, basically anytime during the year. A lot of au pairs come in the months like July, August, and usually au pairs go into rematch about a month or 2 after they come to the States. So in August, September, it's really busy, like with a lot of au pairs and rematch and families, but you can always find a family. There's always families looking. It's just more busy in these months.
If you have been here for 5 months and you're gonna get into rematch, for how long time can you stay here longer?
The time you have is always a year, so it doesn't matter how many times you go into rematch, you always have that year plus your travel month. So if you've been here for 5 months, you still have 7 months plus a travel month. Okay. But if you are in rematch, like you don't have a family for 2 weeks, it's not like you get those 2 weeks extra at the end. Those 2 weeks count too. I'm like doing things like this.
For you, which one was the most difficult part being in rematch?
Definitely being alone for 2 weeks because I had to stay in the LCC's house. So that was not in my town. My friends weren't close. And that was kind of hard because you have to keep busy looking for families and you can't spend your free time like relaxed. But you have to stay positive because almost everyone finds a new family. Keep trying and stay positive.
That's the most important thing, stay positive, yeah. If you get into this process, how long time do you have to get another family?
You have 2 weeks to find a new family. Sometimes you get a little bit more time, but only if you have really good reasons. Most of the girls and guys, they'll find a family before these 2 weeks. Also guy au pairs.
When you are in rematch, can you take any family or you must take rematch family too?
You can take any family. Usually though it's rematch families because they need an au pair like quick, just like you need a family. Most families who are looking for their for an au pair in
sooner as possible.
Yeah, usually you go with a family who is also into rematch. Sometimes it's just a family who needs an au pair quick. But most families who just already have an au pair and just looking for the next one, they look like 3 or 4 or sometimes even more months before they need you. So most of the times it's a rematch.
Okay, so during rematch time, are you receiving any payment?
No, you don't receive payment. That was also a very hard thing for me because I was in rematch 2 months after I came here and you don't get money. They do give you food, but you still want to go out and do fun things, and that costs money. So no, be prepared.
Just so you know.
So as you told me, during this time you can stay in a LCC's house, right?
Yeah, most of the times if the family either doesn't want you in the house anymore or you don't feel comfortable staying there, like it's just what the circumstances are. It's different in every situation, of course, but usually you can stay at the LCC's house. I stayed at 2 LCC's houses because it took me almost a full 2 weeks and my own LCC couldn't help me anymore because she didn't have a place in her house. But they always take care of you and they make sure you have a place to stay. So don't worry about feeling uncomfortable in your family. They will always take care of you and make sure you can stay somewhere.
So can you stay in any LCC's house or just in your LCC's house?
I am pretty sure that your own LCC would be the first person to house you, but if he or she doesn't have a place, you go to the next one. But I don't think you move like hours away. They will probably try to keep you close.
Okay, if you are staying in a LCC's house, are you allowed to pick some food or stuff, personal stuff? I mean shampoo, toilet paper, stuff like that?
Definitely. I have been in 2 LCC's houses and the first one, she said you can grab anything you want, and if you have already been here, they have a lot of food in the house most of the time. So I was actually overwhelmed with how much food there was. I mean, I can't speak for every LCC's house, but they definitely should give you food. In the second house, I ate with the family, but you're also free to go out for dinner by yourself if you want to. But they definitely should give you food. If they don't, say something.
And what if you are going in rematch and your current host family, they don't have an au pair yet?
Well, I don't know if I can say it like this, but that would be their problem. I mean... I don't mean to be rude, but it also depends on the circumstances, but it's your life and it's your au pair year too, so if you find a new family and you want to go there, you can go there.
But maybe you can get an agreement, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that would be the best thing to do, so you both like compromise.
Like when to win.
Yeah, it really depends on the circumstances, because sometimes they want you to leave right away, sometimes they want you to stay, and sometimes you just don't feel comfortable to stay in the house anymore. And at that point you just have to be honest, and I think through the whole rematch process, really being honest is the most important thing to do. And at this point you have to choose for yourself. You came here all by yourself, you have to do everything by yourself, so you can do this too. Like, just be honest.
Okay, and what if I'm going into a match and my new host family is in the other side of the country? Do I have to pay for my transportation?
No, you don't. Someone has to pay for it. I am pretty sure cultural care pays for the flight, but your host family will have to fix something for you to get from the airport or from the train station to your new house. But you should definitely not be paying for that yourself. If you are, contact the agency. They should help you.
Okay, how the match process starts?
It's different in every situation, of course. It could be that the au pair doesn't want to live with the family anymore for whatever reason. It could be the family doesn't want the au pair there for whatever reason. It could be that you're just not a good match and you go into a friendly rematch, as they call it. Usually you go to your LCC and you talk to him or her about it, like what's going on. She or he comes to your house and you have an exit meeting kind of thing, and then just to talk about the problem or what's going on, and then you get 2 weeks to work on the problem. If the problem is not like as bad, to like immediately go into rematch, because that could be the case too. And if you decide after these 2 weeks that you really want to leave, or the family really wants you to leave, then your profile comes online again and then you can go into the rematch process, which also takes 2 weeks.
Okay, and how many rematches can you try?
I am not sure about a number, but I think if you have a good reason for every rematch, they should definitely consider it. If you are just coming here to travel and you're like,
oh hey, I live in New York now, I don't like it here anymore after a couple of weeks, let me go to California. Of course they won't let you. Like,
you have to be reasonable about it, but I'm pretty sure if you have a good reason and it's just unfortunate how things are happening. I've heard of girls 4 or 5 times, but more than 5 I haven't heard of.
Yes, I think it's common sense, and also because not all the times is your fault. That could be the decision of the host family for a lot of reasons, because they are not comfortable with you, but also because in some cases, for example, the host mom just leaves her job and she's not gonna need an au pair anymore or something like that, or maybe what else?
Yeah, there's endless reasons that, but it's nothing to be scared of. It's not like they just throw you out, don't worry. But we're just trying to say that there could be a lot of reasons that you can't do anything about, and then you would have to go into rematch if you want to stay. So sometimes it's not about you, it's just about the circumstance.
Yes, I know, I'm agree with that, but also sometimes it's the offer's fault, because you need to be conscious that you are in another country living in their house with a family, so you must respect their rules. I mean, if it's reasonable, it's okay, because maybe they can be like really strict, so if that doesn't have sense, maybe you can be in rematch for that, and it's okay.
It can be okay. I mean, of course we have heard bad stories about some families, but there's also bad stories about au pairs out there too. Some of them are just not genuinely interested in caring for kids.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, you have to understand, as a family, you wouldn't want someone taking care of your kids who's just here to travel, and definitely they don't really care for your kids in a loving way, because that's what family wants, of course. So it doesn't always have to be the family's fault, it doesn't always have to be the parents' fault, but it could also be that you just don't connect to each other. And that's fine. That's what rematch is for.
I really think that when you are in rematch, the good thing about this, the good side about it, is that now you know what you want. I mean, your needs. If you want to have a curfew, if you need a car, if you need something closer, like, it depends on your personality, but you know more what you want, what you really want. So I think my conclusion is that in these cases is a win-to-win, and we need to know that they want someone who could be responsible with their kids and take them safe, but also they need to understand that you are gonna have fun sometimes, because you are here for that reason, for improve your English, and also because you want to travel and have fun. So Cynthia, which one is your conclusion about this topic?
I definitely want to say that, as I have experience with it, I totally agree with you. You have a more clear view of what you want, because when you're at home and you're looking at all these families, you get overwhelmed by like, I like this family, but I don't really like the place they live in. Like, it's all these things that you don't know if you should care about it a lot or not that much because you haven't experienced it yet. And I did know this time what I wanted. The only thing is you only have 2 weeks, and that can be a lot of pressure because you don't want to leave this country. So what I want to say is almost every au pair, if you really try, finds a family. It doesn't mean though that they find a family that they really like, because sometimes you feel like, oh, time, you know, I have to pick a family
Now, and then you
and then you live in this new family and you're still not happy, or things happen again, or you don't talk with them, like you don't Skype with them, so you don't really get to know them like you would when you're back home, which means you can end up in a situation you still had no clue about that would happen. So what I'm trying to say is, even though you only have 2 weeks, take your time and be sure. Sometimes it's even better to go home instead of going into this family that you don't like either. You can always start the process again. The only downside is that it would cost you money, but just be sure, because this year is about you and you need to be happy.
Share that for what to do.
Yeah, I'm done. That's what I wanted to say.
No, but I think she's right. So thank you, Cynthia, for being here in this channel. I hope you enjoyed this experience, and I'm gonna miss you because she's going back home, and I'm really gonna miss her.
I'm gonna miss you too. Thank you for being on your channel, and I hope I helped some of you guys who are thinking about rematch. If you're not happy, do it. Last thing I wanted to say.
Muchas gracias, espero que les haya gustado. Si tienen alguna duda, lo pueden poner en los comentarios y nos vemos para la próxima.